the left and Lee Crooks on the right. Both experienced international players. Hobbs, assistant coach with Peter Fox at Bradford Northern. And referee Ian Ollerton from Wigan just wants a word with them. And he's stressing a quick play of the ball and to get off the tackled player. One of the directives from the Rugby League's executives this season. And I think, John, a very, very evenly balanced match.
Yeah, I think it will be, Ray. I think the halfbacks there, Derek Fox and Mick Ford, I think they'll have a lot to do with proceedings, and they're both very similar players and good ball handlers, and I'm sure it'll be an interesting contest. So,
interesting contest. Second Regal Trophy semi-final. Castleford already in possession, and it's number 2 there, St John Ellis. Referee Mr Ollerton already shouting to the players to let them go. Keith England coming in there at number 10, surprise selection ahead of Dean Sampson. He's been the regular prop. Tawera Nikau, the Kiwi, number 13. We saw his devastating break at Knowsley Road against St Helens produce the match winner. To Peter Coyne. And temporarily, that very strong blustery wind that's been blowing here all morning has eased as Northern, their first touch of the ball. Bradford. I think Bradford, John, as Peter Fox said, playing a different brand of rugby at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, well, they've been playing very attractive rugby league and come up with a few good results. And you know, I think Derek Fox is the whole key to them, though. You know, if Derek Fox goes well, the side goes well.
Mr Ollerton was telling them to get off him. He was looking for some direction from the touch judges, but it didn't come. Lee Crooks sensibly taking it in, trying to draw this Bradford pack to the centre of the field. Castleford as well, a very exciting side, like to move this ball around. Peter Coyne. The half break from the Sydney St George player, signed this season by the Aussie coach Darryl van der Velde. Number 6, forward. Martin Kettridge. Mick Ford again here, number 7. Beautiful pass inside there to England. And this man's doing the directing. Number 7 there, Mike Ford, the England scrum half, a rival of Derek Fox, is on the opposite side. Here's a chance. Ford again, looks to Coyne, he's got Nikau. Possibly would have been better advised to have given it to Nikau in the first place. Here's Nikau now. The forward pass. Forward pass, turnover on the 6th tackle. Any knock on or miskick to touch. The ball handed over to the opposition.
Yeah, Nikau just had that ball knocked out of his hands when he was about to pass the ball there, and it went forward. It was a good call from the referee. They've the pressure's just a little bit off at the moment, and you know, Bradford have, like their coach said earlier in the piece, they've just got to stay with Castleford early, and they've done that so far, although they've been under a lot of pressure.
Neil Summers. John Hamer, rough, tough drop forward from the Siddle Amateur Club, 25 years of age. His compatriot there in the front row, David Hobbs, and Peter Fox, one of the most shrewd and experienced of British coaches in the game. Heron, Summers, good tackling. Much more difficult now for a side to really cover against a fast attacking side when the teams are back 10 metres, but I'm sure Darryl van der Velde has done his homework this week. Fox. Good kick from Fox. It's more of a blustery wind, not particularly aiding either side. It's coming across field here at the moment. But I think we'll see both Fox and Ford kicking for position.
Yeah, I don't think the wind's favouring either side, Ray, but like I said, I think if whichever team kicks the ball better in the early exchanges, I think that's a team that that things will start to favour.
These two teams looking to be the Yorkshire representative in the final at Ellen Road, Leeds against Wigan. Lancashire teams have dominated this tournament in the last 7 seasons. Wigan 4 times, St Helens, Widnes and Warrington, previous winners. Peter Coyne. And that just shows the strength of the wind. He hardly put any real force behind that, but he just caught the wind well, and he pushes Bradford Northern back. Yeah,
Peter Coyne's a particularly good kicker of the ball, though, and I know that was one of the reasons that Castleford were very interested in him to get him out of the Sydney competition. The fact that he'd give them an excellent kicking game, and he does kick the ball particularly well.
I think it was interesting about kicking, John. Peter Fox was on this pitch at about 10-2 with Gerrit Fox, his scrum half, and was actually instructing him about the corners and the wind. But Brian Noble, good long ball to Roger Simpson. Little space in which to run, but not enough. Roger Simpson, not the biggest of players. And Richard down there on the bench.
Yes, on both benches really there's been a good degree of satisfaction with the defensive performances of both sides. There was some anger from Peter Fox, the Bradford Northern coach, earlier on with what he thought was an incident of ball stealing, which of course set up that first Castleford attack. But otherwise, both benches, both coaches, well, the assistant coach in Castleford's case, seem happy with the defensive performance so far.
Well, a lot of debate there. Mr. Ollerton is saying that was a voluntary tackle, but I wouldn't really think so there, John. I think the Bradford lad struck for the ball, and when he saw the sight of the ball, he drops down for the ball, doesn't he, Watson?
Well, he can't dive in that area there between the Bradford player and the Castleford player, so he's handled the ball in the ruck, and now if he lay on the ground and didn't attempt to get up, it's also a voluntary tackle, so you can take your...
First, so no, Crook still driving in Crooks, but
ball in the ruck.
Yeah, but he did touch with his foot first, so no, Crook still driving in Crooks, but brunt of the this outside. Oh, the dummy again. I think Middleton was in Blackmore. This powerful Kiwi from Otahu in Auckland. Ford again. Derek Fox catching the ricochet there off Keith England.
Castleford have fancied their chances down that short side, Ray. A couple of times they've worked the ball to the middle and then moved it back and hit Nicow out very wide on the blind side, and there's a little bit of space out there, and I think they fancy themselves with coming up with a break down that short side of the field.
Mr. Ollerton penalising Chris Watson, the Castleford hooker there, for holding on and forcing down at the play of the ball. Here I think we'll see the example. There we are. And certainly Castleford have really come out here firing all guns. Bradford rarely been out of this this half. Castleford, 3rd in Division 1. Bradford, 5th in Division 1 this morning. De Heron, just over 10 minutes gone in this first half. Still looking for the first score. Bradford 0, Castleford 0. Fox again, using this corner. Oh, that's a good kick. Perfectly judged kick. And as we can see there from the touch judge's flag, that wind swirling around, not really helping Fox. And that is a good advantage there, John, isn't it? It just shows how much on attack Castleford have been.
Yeah, I noticed early in the piece, Peter Fox said that, you know, they just had to stay with Castleford early because the 2 times that Castleford had beaten them this year, that they've got away early in the game. And so far, they've held Castleford out, and they've done what their coach wanted. They've stayed in the game.
Yes, Castleford have won both league matches this season, but Bradford do have a win in the Yorkshire Cup. Tackling as we would expect in a Regal Trophy semi-final. Fierce. Crooks. Coyne. Nickow. Always roaming out there wide, like an extra centre. Plenty of pace, that Kiwi. Good run to Morrison. Watson. Local lad, this hooker from Cutsike. Coyne again. Kiwi there, Dave Watson, the full-back. This number 1 for Bradford Northern from Manukau in New Zealand has been a half-back for most of his career. In fact, a New Zealand Test player, but now successfully covering that full-back position.
Yeah, last time we saw Bradford, Ray, they moved him up and they played him half-back a fair bit, and you know, he moved up and fed the scrums, I believe, and you know, and he played a little bit of half-back. So they do swap them around a little bit and try and come up with the you know, the best points of both players.
He does. He tends to swap with this man, Neil Summers. Simon Middleton. Either side able to make that vital break at the moment. John Ray. And Crooks again at first receiver. Good ball play, this Crooks. The gap was there if there'd been a second row running off him. Coyne. Change of direction. Oh, Morrison wasn't there. Play on. One or two of the Bradford Northern players complaining, but Mr. Ollerton telling them that he went backwards. Forward. That's a good kick. It's hovering. Taken well by Watson. And a perfect catch in the in-goal area results in a tap on the 20-metre line. And one begins to wonder, John, all this pressure from Castleford, no points, a game tends to swing the other way, doesn't it?
Well, they're just trying to hang on, aren't they, early, and they've done a good job. Their defence is good, and they've weathered the storm. So far, so good for Bradford, and you know, even Castleford would be happy because they've played all the good field position, and if you just stay down here for long enough, something usually gives.
Ketteridge. And there we can see a good example of that pressure that Castleford have had. 55% possession.
Yeah, well, if you take that with where they've played the game, the territorial advantage, you know, they've just been down there that long.
Neil Summers, former Headingley and Yorkshire player. Watson linking up very well. A good run by Dave Watson now. Just couldn't get away. Good cover there by St. John Ellis to put him down. But Northern now moving into this half. Summers. Tough, durable standoff.
As we see, Castleford have had 55% of the ball, but they've had it all in the Bradford half, and that's the sort of pressure that you know, that Peter Fox was worried about before the game. But they haven't turned that into points, and you know, so far so good for Bradford, and Castleford, they'll be just hoping that they can get over the line.
Mr. Ollerton wanting the two scrums to keep well away until that ball arrives. Bradford usually like to employ a very big push, a big scrum. Nickow. And Richard down on the bench.
Yes, on the Castleford bench, Dean Sampson, Great Britain forward, waiting to get on. A lot of Castleford pressure, Dean, but nothing to show for it yet.
At the moment, no, but teams like Bradford are a good defensive side, but if you pressure any side, your Wigan, St Helens, all the time, build pressure, the points have got to come. As it showed yesterday, on the Warrington Leeds game, no side can defend for more than 18 tackles on their own line, and that's hopefully what we're going to get today.
Thanks, Dean. That's Dean Sampson on the Bradford bench.
Penalty here, John.
Yeah, there's a run around here, and Carl Fairbank goes high, and the tackle's above the shoulders. Referee nice and quick there with the whistle, and penalty.
So, Lee Crooks, first attempt and the first chance of 2 points. Very experienced goal kicker, 65 already this season, and a man who accustomed to kicking pressure goals all around the world. As a test player, I once saw him land a touchline kick to tie a test against New Zealand in the dying seconds. This is not quite that pressure, and a very tricky wind blowing around this Valley Parade ground. No. Jeers from the Bradford Northern fans, moans from the Castleford fans, but it still remains that same score. Bradford Northern 0, Castleford 0, 16 minutes gone. Derek Fox, £140,000 club record buy, number 7, takes the kick. Blackmore. I think this lad Blackmore with one of the stars of the forthcoming New Zealand tour next season, John. Number 3.
Yeah, I think the improvement in his play's been terrific since he's come to Castleford, and you know he's certainly a danger player with the ball in his hands.
Crooks here is one forward, dangerous with the ball in his hands, but the Castleford pack not quite following him. Richard Blackmore there, powerful centre. England, good pass. Watson. Nicow. Oh, good pass from Nicow. We've got Crooks, beautifully taken by St. John Ellis for the forward pass. Superb support play there by Mike Ford. He even had another Castleford player, Tony Smith, alongside him, but Mr. Ollerton was on the spot. Forward pass.
Yeah, Nicow back inside there to Crooks, and Crooks's pass there was ruled forward by the referee.
And just worth noting here, look at the ball play of those forwards there. The ball put out from Nicow and Crooks. And a knock on.
Just get the feeling here, Ray, that something's about to give, don't you? They've put a lot of pressure on them, and you know, like the Dean Sanson said before, something's got to give.
That's a good scrum, and here something might give. It's got Nicow. Tony Smith, the try-poacher this season, they're keeping it going down to this blind side. Nicow himself looking for that pass. Certainly this two out of Nicow now. The New Zealand loose forward into the action. Keith England. Bradford's defence still resisting. Watson! Oh, he saw a sight of the line, decided to go. Smith, and that's the 5th tackle. To the blind, that's a good spot. No. Well worth the effort on the blind there, but former Castleford favourite number 2 there, Tony Marchant for Bradford, looking after John Ray.
I think if I was one of the Castleford playmakers or the Castleford coach, I'd be very unhappy with that set of 6. You know, yep. I thought they just wasted a lot of tackles around that play the ball area, and you know, I thought it was very poor play. I'm sure the halfbacks wouldn't be happy.
And there we can see the handling errors, John. 5 already from Bradford Northern. Roy Powell. Good strong burst there by Roy Powell. Can he get that ball away? He does. To David Heron. Oh, he's got Neil Summers. Summers there. Over the line. It's a try. Neil Summers. Bradford have struck once, and the vital 4 points are there. This chunky, nuggety standoff after 20 minutes of intense pressure on their line. I questioned whether Castleford should have scored. And this man Summers does the trick. His second try of the season, and literally Bradford Northern's first strike, John.
Yeah, it's the first time they've been in the half, and it's missed tackles here on Roy Powell. Keeps the ball available there. Heron picks up support on the inside, and the inside support, Summers, he's in under the posts. A great run from Roy Powell. He just kicked out of a couple of tackles in the middle of the park.
Derek Fox, this should be an easy conversion for him. It is. So, Derek Fox then back to the halfway line, and I don't think he can quite believe it, but really it was that burst from Powell, and good play here from David Heron. A bargain buy from Leeds, and Summers determined, eager to get to the line, but also blessed with a turn of pace. Good try.
Yeah, this is where we see Roy Powell, and he gets a pass away. If we can just hold it there, we can see defensive players out here and a defensive player here, but the player has got the speed on the inside, and it's a great run up the inside. Roll it on, and you'll see that too much pace on the inside for the inside cover.
And he has the pace there to hold off St John Ellis. No mean feat. And Castleford incurring the displeasure of referee Ollerton for holding again at the play of the ball.
It's just plays like that, Ray, that drive coaches crazy. I mean, Castleford couldn't have done any more to start this game. They've played the game in the opposition's half. They've had all the possession, and we've played 15-20 minutes, and they're behind 6-0. It's just enough to drive a coach crazy.
As a coach then, John, how do you account for it?
Well, it's just things that go against the run of play. I mean, Castleford did everything they wanted to do other than score points. First time the opposition's in your half, there's missed tackles and make a break and score the points.
So Brian Noble, long-serving hooker at Bradford Northern. Carl Furbank. Oh, and it's a good pass to Hamer, and it's McGowan going over now, and there's the second try. Steve McGowan, the second strike, deadly precision. And suddenly Castleford are ripped apart in midfield, but it was the forward strike again that went straight through the middle, and the backs were there. Steve McGowan, what a season he's having, coming into his testimonial.
Yeah, good inside pass there, Ray, and just uses that space up the middle. Good support play by Hamer. And McGowan's on hand again. Once they get in the knack of scoring tries, they seem to pop up at the right time all the time.
And a kick, similar to his first one. The Fox and Steve McGowan, very unfortunate never to gain international honours. Straightforward, 2 points. Taking Bradford out to 12-0, it must be a very happy and a very satisfied Peter Fox. I don't think he would expect this at this stage, but just look at the forward play here, John. McGowan, the long-striding, tall lad, took good advantage of the excellent forward play. So, who would have believed that, John? 24 minutes, 12 points to 0, and Bradford, what, twice in the Castleford half?
Certainly done a good job, haven't they? They've taken their chances, whereas Castleford didn't take their chances, didn't get the ball over their line.
And over to you, Richard.
Yes, on the Bradford Northern bench with the assistant coach Nigel Stevenson. Nigel, 2 quick tries, great joy. A turn up for the Bucks though, really.
Yeah, for the first 20 minutes, Richard, we were under pressure, created by ourselves, to be honest. We dropped the ball 6 times in the first 20 minutes. You've got to be secure with the football. Now, we've had 2 tremendous tries in the last 5 minutes. Roy Powell breaking away, as he's doing again now. Putting David and Clay Neil-Summers scored. Then we've had another brilliant try straight after Steve McGowan. But we're going to have to control the football a lot better than we have been doing, even though we're 12 points in the good.
Suddenly, Nigel Stevenson on the Bradford Northern bench.
Suddenly a sense of confidence now. You can surging through this Bradford Northern side. Castleford very much up against it, but of course a lot of quality players in this Cas side. Any one of them could snatch a try. And just look at that possession and territory there. Very unusual. You see a side leading by 12 points to nil who have suffered like Bradford have.
That's why there's such a turnover in coaches, Ray. Yeah, it's just a straightforward pass and catch there, and the halfback, who's usually a very safe handler, is you know, unable to handle the ball. They're under a bit of pressure, aren't they?
Bradford Northern, of course, spent almost £200,000 this season for Fox, for Heron, for Watson, for Clark on the substitutes, and wing Brian McKebby, who's injured. So a complete rebuilding, and there's one man who is helping the rebuilding here at Northern, number 1, Dave Watson from New Zealand. David Heron, and another one, £20,000 bargain buy from Leeds. Hobbs, he'd be looking to get the short pass, couldn't get it away, but that standard tactics between David Hobbs and Derek Fox and Carl Furbank. A little pass from Fox, the plunge from Hobbs, and the return pass. Not this time, though.
Well, it's amazing. And both the front rowers, both number 8s, Lee Crooks and David Hobbs, they've both got the capability of passing the ball like that under pressure, and they're two passes that can squeeze out those tight little passes, and you know, they're two danger players.
And it was the force of that tackle there by John Hamer that knocked that ball out of Keith England's grasp. So Northern on the attack again. Carl Furbank, very lucky that Hamer picks it up. These two forwards, especially Furbank and Hamer, causing lots of problems for Castleford. And here's another one, Roy Powell. Powerful second row. The slip to Furbank. Oh, he looks for support. He finds Watson. Fox wanting to get in on the act. Hobbs! Oh, he's over! David Hobbs sent the charge. Gary Fox deliberately went in there at the acting half-back position. The short pass to his skipper, and the 17 stones of David Hobbs carried him over. He might well grin. 34 years of age. Dare I say, the twilight of a career, but as strong as ever, John.
Yeah, just a nice little pass there from Fox to Hobbs, and it's an area where Castleford are usually very, you know, they're very tight in the middle of the ruck area because they play such a condensed defence. But they've found a few holes in the last 10 minutes.
And a third attempt for Derek Fox in identical positions. And the identical conversion, another 2 points. 18 points to nil. Less than half an hour gone. And here, very good view there. The short pass, 17 stone, pounding at you, straight through the 3 Castleford jerseys. No hesitation.
Yeah, he came short and hard, didn't he, Ray? And, you know, there's nothing clever about the play. It's just head down, backside up, and he's in under the post. He got nice and low and got over the line.
And for any young prop forwards watching, John, he dipped his head, as you said, backside up, and he burrowed down to the line, didn't he?
Yeah, well, that's the way to hit the line when you get close to the line. The fact that you can get underneath the defensive players, and your momentum will usually take you over the line. So, you know, you just wouldn't think a game could turn around like this.
Great competitor, David Hobbs, a thinker on the game. And we saw Castleford's substitute, Dean Sampson, coming on. Watson. As you said, John, he likes to come up into the game, doesn't he, this lad Dave Watson, and Summers slipped back to full back.
Well, there's a situation where it's a first tackle and the fullback's up taking the first pass off the ruck. It just shows that they're good interchangeable players, and he looks quite dangerous so far, does Watson at fullback.
And there's Hobbs again. Notice how he was half turning there, trying to put the pass out to a second row like Powell or Furbank. Fox. tester there for St Janellis. A tackle from Darryl Shelford, another Kiwi in the Bradford ranks. Coyne. One or two of the Castleford lads looked as if they're a little bit shell-shocked at this score at the moment, John.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can't expect a better start than they had without getting any points, and you know, I'm sure they're definitely having a few problems with their confidence at the moment.
A little break there by Mike Ford, a £77,500 signing from Oldham a couple of seasons ago. Good play, pinpoint accuracy, and when you see a prop forward kicking like that, like Lee Crooks, it makes one appreciate the skills in these rugby league forwards.
Yeah, well, the usual kicker, Mick Ford, was taken up and he took the ball forward and had to play the ball, so straight away they need somebody that can kick the ball, and Lee Crooks can just step in and do that.
Watson, very dangerous, got support again, here's that man Summers. These two linking together well, Watson and Summers, and Fox, the catalyst there, launching the attacks. Powell. Good tackle there from number 3, Richie Blackmore for Castleford. And Richard, any news from the bench?
Well, the news from the Castleford bench is that they are telling their players not to panic, to take it easy, that there's plenty of time to pull it back. That might sound a bit like whistling in the dark, or it might be a bit later on, but that's the message off the Castleford bench.
Well, I'm sure the Cas fans will be hoping that they heed that, but I'm sure they'll be looking for some points. Simon Middleton. One wonders whether Simon Middleton here had a very, very good season. Might he be worth throwing Graham Steadman into the fray?
Well, I mean, their coach sees the players week in and week out, and he knows the fitness of Steadman, and he also knows that in Middleton's form's been outstanding. So it's, you know, I don't know. The coaches usually know best. He knows, you know, he knows the health of his player and you know, the right time to use him.
Nikau trying to launch an attack. Good clamping of the ball. Again, the experience of David Hobbs. He knows that Nikau carries the ball in one hand, likes to get the pass away, clamps it. Coyne, Blackmore. This is better from Castle. Oh, a commentator's nightmare.
Well, 6 tackles and it's a handover, Ray, and you know, they're in an attacking frame, aren't they? A frame of mind. You know, they're just going for broke Castleford now, and you know, the message did come out from the bench, don't panic, but there is a bit of panic about their play.
There's bound to be though, John, isn't there, when you're 18 points to 0 down in a semi-final after half an hour. Heron, good support. Summers, what a fine game this lad's having. Came from the Headingley club, snapped up by Darryl van der Velde, the Australian coach from Brisbane. Back to Fox, no, to Hobbs.
Well, again, there's another number 8, David Hobbs, you know, doing exactly what Lee Crooks did before. A great kick into the corner and a very good chase for Bradford. They've got their tails up at the moment.
John Ray, the Castleford wingman, having to do the job of his forwards. And they're doing a lot of jobs. Number 8, Lee Crooks, Great Britain prop. Tourist down under. Just 5 minutes remaining then in this first half. The 18 points in the scoreline. Tries from Summers, McGowan and Hobbs for Northern, and the 3 goals from Fox. Oh, again a mistake. Roger Simpson, a lively little customer. This man played in every back position. And does that reflect a scoreline, John, of 18 points to 0? Bradford with 73 tackles made, and again in the lead.
No, it doesn't, Ray, but You know, they've just taken their chances, Bradford. Every time they've been in the opposition's half, it seems like they've scored a try. I know that the coaches don't like players to panic, and you say, you know, we've got 40 minutes to play after half-time, but I'm sure it's in the Castleford players' minds, you know, they want to get on the scoreboard before half-time.
Well, you've got 3 or 4 minutes to do so. To Watson. Good slip inside to Tony Marchants. Marchants, this wing for Bradford, knows all about Castleford. He was a player there for many seasons. Fox. Tester. Ooh. John Ray let the ball bounce. Must never do that. A rugby ball, not like a soccer ball. We might be at Valley Parade, but an oval ball has a nasty tendency of bouncing the wrong way.
Yeah, that ball could have just as easily have come back, couldn't it, Ray? And had it come back the other way, you know, Bradford could have scored again.
Penalty against David Heron there for ball stealing, for ripping the ball out. I think we can see it here.
Yeah, Richie Blackmore's got the ball in one hand there, and his hand just did come down and brush the ball out.
What do you think, though, John, of this practice that many players have these days of carrying the ball in one hand?
Well, I think it's an attractive way to carry the ball now that the rule is that you can't rip it out, because players can get away good one-handed passes while they hold opposition off. But, you know, the referees have just got to be on the job. If the rule says you can't rip the ball, you can't rip the ball.
Certainly gives a ball carrier more confidence, doesn't it, in his handling.
And it'll promote a bit more attractive play.
Morrison. Now, Castleford looking for some attractive play and looking for 4 or 6 points before half-time. Lee Crooks. Oh, he's got the pass out! He has! And it's the try there for Tony Smith. We mentioned Lee Crooks had the ball-handling skills. He suddenly hit back there, and it's Tony Smith, the man who's been doing all the scoring this season for Castleford, his 16th try of the season, the 22-year-old Smith. The right timely reply, John.
Well, it certainly was. I said before they'd be looking for a try before half-time, and, you know, for Lee Crooks to get that pass away with all the traffic around, you know, it was a great ball.
He's threatened to do this on 2 or 3 occasions, hasn't he? There he is. He takes the pass out. Good pass. The man's waiting there. And Tony's... Oh, did he drop it, John? Nevertheless, it counts as 4 points. And a chance for Lee Crooks to add. Been around for a very, very long time, this lad, yet still only 28 years of age. Served his country well on 2 tours. Can he serve Castleford well here with another 2 points? A very slow, deliberate, round the corner style kicker. And his slowness pays off. He gets the conversion. And so at last, a fight back from Castleford. 18 points to 6 then in Northern's favour. 2 minutes remaining in this half. And John, what do you think of this try?
Well, it's a great ball from Crooks there, and fullbacks come forward well. Yeah, he's lost the ball for mine, Ray. I think it fell out. I think the ball fell out before he got over the line. There's nothing on there. If you just hold it up there, and you know, we've got 3 defensive players there, and it's just a great pass around the corner from Crooks to this player here, and but I do feel he dropped the ball over the line.
So it's Bradford Northerns, Roy Powell really bouncing them off him here this afternoon at Valley Parade. And there we see Paul Medley, who's just come on for Hamer, another international forward. And there is the hooter, a timely score by Castleford, certainly a score that they really needed. None worked harder there though than Roy Powell.
With Ray French.
And a determined look on those Castleford players as they come out from the dressing room, I don't think that despite the scoreline of 18 points to 6, that this game is still very, very much in the balance. Castleford, plenty of talent in there with players like Blackmore and Middleton and Smith, always able to grab a try or two. But Bradford Northern skipper David Hobbs, he knows he commands up front at the moment, and he'll certainly want to keep it that way. As Peter Fox said, they have moved the ball around the field, they've shown good support play, and certainly the tries have come. It's very wet underfoot, it's quite damp around, but good ball handling skills. There are none better than Neil Summers there coming onto the pitch. But a huge blow to Northern is the news that prop John Hamer has dislocated his collarbone, and he did it in the tackle that just led up to the Castleford try. We see Morrison there going in, and that shoulder charge from John Hamer, well, results in the injury. He's a policeman, and I think he'll have difficulty walking his beat over the next couple of weeks. So, second half underway. Great Britain coach Mal Reilly obviously looking for talent for the French tests to come in the next couple of months. And Crooks to kick off. Castleford, John, I think still very much in this game.
Well, I'm sure the warning from their coach is will be ringing in the ear, get the ball and get over that line. Bradford, they'll have the same approach as the start of the game. They won't want to concede any early points, and they want to go with Castleford early.
And Roy Powell, second row for Bradford, making plenty of ground here this afternoon, as is this man, Carl Fairbank. Fox, good switch, back to Hobbs, good play between those two. Either of them can kick this ball well. Middleton. St. John Ellis trying to take advantage of this 10-metre line, very often worth putting a wingman in there with a little extra yard of pace to gain some yards. It really is hard work, John, for these forwards now with the play back 10 metres, isn't it?
Well, it certainly is, and it's you've got to have your markers work a lot harder under these under the new circumstances where the defence has got to get back a little bit further.
Nichow again trying to force the pass. Bradford forced to knock on. Darryl Shelford coming away. The tall Kiwi to Heron. Simpson had to go forward, just lacked that extra man coming off him. But Bradford still playing the pressure rugby. Powell. The switch. Fox. Watson and the double switch. Fairbank. Can he get that ball away? No, he can't. Watson. To Hobbs for the drop goal. Well, that certainly was a work move. David Hobbs on hand. Not only a scrummager, not only a try scorer, but drop kick extraordinaire as well. What a grand game this veteran's having.
Yeah, it's just a set-up play. You know, they just looked like they knew what they were doing all the way, and you know, it's a good rehearsed piece. They worked the ball down, took it right into the goalpost, and David Hobbs put it to bed.
So that extra point, meaning Castleford now having to score at least 3 times. A good psychological boost to Bradford, keeps it ticking over. Roger Simpson. Summers and Richard, any news there after the half-time?
Yes, the news from the Castleford dressing room is that they were told by their coach, Darryl van der Velde, a very simple, a very concise message: dig in, tighten up, and the points will come. Of course, that didn't legislate for drop goals, Ray.
Eric Fox. Well, Darryl van der Velde with the walkie-talkie, sat there in the stand next to Chairman Mr. Poulter. obviously relaying instructions, just as Mr. Ollerton is giving the players instructions regarding this knock-on from St Janellis.
Yeah, it was a Bradford player that did knock the ball on. A good ruling from the referee. Castleford get the feed, and they've also got a penalty from the scrum.
Well, that's a couple of penalties against Bradford at the scrums. The earlier one for foot up, and now for not having his head in the scrum. Even Stevens there.
Just makes the mountain a little bit taller, doesn't it, Ray, when the opposition come out and kick a field goal and take them to a 13-point break rather than a 12-point break. It means that as well as scoring 2 tries and kicking 2 goals, you've got to get something, you've got to get on the board another way as well. So
it certainly does. Good break. I think we better explain, John, to our viewers that a field goal in Australia is a drop goal.
Yes, it is.
Crooks driving in, but it counts the same number of points, John, doesn't it?
That's 1 point. Took them from 12 points in front to 13 points in front.
Ketteridge. Back to Coyne. Coyne looking for support, but nobody there. Mike Ford. That's a good ball. John Ray coming inside. At the 5th tackle. Now then, Will Ford again. Will he put the high one up? No, the grubber. Well picked up. Bungled over the dead ball line there, the in-goal area. But it's a drop out beneath the posts. I think Peter Fox has done some work on these grubber kicks, John.
Well, it was a great catch there under pressure. He didn't get a kind bounce, but the chase was very good. Whether the chasers were in front of the kicker, I don't know. It's a good long kick though, Ray, and it's found a bit of space, so the pressure's off a little.
A tackle there from Brian Noble. Many seasons at Odsal. Ketteridge on the transfer list early in the season, but asked to come off and stay at Weldon Road. Nick Howe. Again, good solid tackling this time from substitute Paul Medley. Forward. Castleford trying everything now. That's a good move. Tony Smith. Coyne signalling he wants it keeping the same way, but he doesn't. To Nick Howe. Bradford's number 13, David Heron, keeping a very close watch on him. Coyne. Blackmore. He's got Ellis. Oh! Knock on. Carl Fairbank protesting, but Mr. Ollerton's in charge.
Yeah, that's the worst possible result for Bradford. As you can see there, the winger goes inside, but Carl Fairbank knocks the ball down, which gives the ball back to Castleford.
For 6 tacklers, so it's Castleford now, looking for points. Richie Blackmore concerting across this side. Oh, good tackle there again by David Heron. But it's Castleford again. I said this game wasn't over, and it's far from it. Forward, Morrison. The referee looking for the quick play of the ball. One or two of the Castleford players are a little grieved at that, felt that Watson had suffered some interference. Coyne lost his footing. Very wet underneath. Nick Howe to the blind. Oh, the knock-on. A look of anguish on Richie Blackmore's face there, but I don't think he was really expecting this ball, John.
No, you've got to be ready to get a ball any time, especially when you're attacking that try line, and you know, mental concentration wasn't real good.
Watson had plenty to do, this New Zealand Test player, signed from Halifax in the summer, and from Manukau in New Zealand. Good run by Simpson. Once again, as I said, a wingman coming into that in half-back position, taking advantage of that 10-metre ruling. Heron, good play. Intriguing battle going on here between these two packs. Good ball handlers, Fox. Derek Fox says we've had enough down here now. Let's get down to the other end. Punishing kick. Simon Middleton, good tackle. St. John Ellis. To Ketteridge. Well, Bradford Northern putting a good clamp around the play of the ball, John, aren't they?
Yeah, they're very tight in the middle, and they're making it hard for Castleford.
Nick Howe. Good ball from Phil Ford. Michael Ford. Simpson again at the acting half-back position. He's moving into there frequently, John, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a good dummy half-runner too, Ray, and he can,
Once again,
he can get away down the middle. Very, very elusive.
Fox, Heron. Marchants. Fifth tackle, Fox. Well, electing to run. Carl Fairbank tries a kick. Dean Sampson, substitute, came on for Keith England in the first half. But Crook's been there since the kick-off. Castleford skipper, number 8. Nick Howe. Good pass from Nick Howe under pressure. Coyne, he gets it away to Middleton. But a good cover tackle there by David Heron. Copyboot loose forward play, covering behind. But it's Castleford playing good rugby now. Forward, he's got Morrison with him. The 5th tackle. Another bad knock there to Northern. The kick. Ooh, well taken by Roger Simpson. And we see there, number 12, Carl Fairbank. He got a knock to the cheekbone, I think. And referee Ian Ollerton, lecturer at Liverpool, stopped the play immediately. Here we see the kick, and John, good catch. Yeah,
Great kick into the corner. There must have been a good loud call from the winger too, because at the last minute the fullback pulled away from it. So, you know, good play, good communication.
And there we see Brian Noble going off as well. The hand injury. Well, another blow to Bradford Northern. We've seen Carl Fairbank down with a knock to the cheekbone. We've seen John Hamer go off. And now Brian Noble going off. But at least Northern are lucky. They do have a top-line hooker to come back on, Trevor Clark, a Kiwi. But I would think that coach Peter Fox is a little concerned about those injuries, not only for this game, but should they reach the final. Paul Medley. And there is Trevor Clark. In fact, Trevor Clark, a good ball player, isn't he, John?
Yeah, right. You don't wish injuries on any player, but if they had to come up with an injury to a player, you know, and the player that they would be looking to replace and come on is the hooker, you know, and Trevor Clark will come on and do a great job for them. He's a good ball player and a good dummy half runner.
Possibly missed Brian Noble's graft and tenacity in the tackle. Middleton, oh, good tackle. Fine tackle there by number 4 for Bradford, Darryl Shelford.
They have opened them up a little bit in the last 5 minutes, Castleford. They've found a few holes, and they've been starting to get the ball forward. So they're looking more dangerous now.
The forwards running much stronger, I think, John, this half. People like Nick Howe, Morrison. Coyne. Good play by Blackmore. He's off play through there. He's looking for the wingman. Oh, is he going to go himself? Just held up. He's caught on the line. Perhaps a moment's hesitation there at the end for Blackmore. But it's Cass. Watson again. I think wastes the tackle. The fifth tackle to Nick Howe. Oh. Well, you have to try things like that, don't you, John?
Well, looking at that run of Richie Blackmore's, if he can't score that try, well, maybe it's not their day. I mean, that just should have been a try under the post.
He seemed to just hesitate at the end rather than going for the line, didn't he?
Well, had he gone for broke, he would have scored the try under the post, and maybe it's not their day.
Summers. So relief again for Bradford. And here we see Richie Blackmore. He appears to be through. He's striding out. He beats the full-back. Cuts back, and then he wonders what to do. He cuts back to his left. Should he have gone direct for the line? And Richard, obviously, any news on the benches there regarding the injuries?
Yes, there is, Ray. It's not a day for the police force. Brian Noble's got a dislocated shoulder, and of course another policeman, John Hamer, has a damaged shoulder as well, a shoulder blade, so the police force is suffering. But Bradford Northern had to reorganise, no better man to send on, as John Money was saying, than Trevor Clark, New Zealand Maori international. And Peter Fox has settled back in his seat. Voluble as always, looks quite happy.
I'm sure he is. And he looks very happy. Looks like the film producer there, just directing his side. But Castleford still in this game. Coyne, good dummy. But Bradford Northern still holding that upper hand, 19 points to 6. And the kick. Momentary lapse there by Castleford. A kick direct into touch, and so it's ball back. And the ball handed over, and Graham Steadman to come on. The Great Britain international full-back, been out for a lengthy period with an injury. But if he can show something like the form that he showed on the Tour of Australia down under this summer, then he could spark them.
Great replacement to bring on, and just shows that they're not finished yet. Castleford, they've got an ace up their sleeve in Steadman.
It amazes me how well Carl Fairbank, you see John Ray there just change. Amazes how Carl Fairbank, he knocks the ball on, yet he still protests. Good forward. Simon Middleton gone on to the wing, and here is Steadman, one of a typical burst from him. We're saying Steadman to full-back, Simon Middleton to the wing, and John Ray for the substitutes bench. And Castleford will be looking to one or two injections in that line from Steadman. Ketteridge. Coyne. Nick Howe. Just couldn't get the ball away, just looking for the support. Blackmore. Good pass to Ford. Oh, he's going himself, Mick Ford. Oh, the knock on! Tony Smith drops the ball with an open line. How many times must Castleford see this open line? There it is. And Smith drops it. He's even got Nick Howe outside him.
Yeah, Smith's one of their most consistent try scorers. He's a player that's had no trouble getting over the line in the last couple of months, and like I said, maybe it's not Castleford's day. They don't seem to be able to take a trick.
But, as we said, it's certainly not Bradford's day yet. Castleford really throwing everything at them. Tony Marchant. And there we saw the handling errors from Castleford, a dozen. I don't think coach Darrell van der Velde will be too happy about that. Knock on. No advantage because it's the handover, and I'm sure Darrell van der Velde will be looking for points very, very quickly.
Yeah, very poor option there taken by the winger. I mean, the ball had to be kicked, and the fact that he got wrapped up and lost the ball, you know, very, very poor play. Gives Castleford a chance to hit back now.
Still these yellow jerseys of Castleford sweeping forward. Good switch to Nickau. Got a lot of running. Good ball. There is Stedman. He's got pace, this lad. Will he make it? No, he won't. Wonderful cover tackle there by McGowan. And it must be a penalty. A professional foul. He'll go to the sin bin, I'm sure. Lying on at the tackle. Steve McGowan lying on the tackle. Attempting to stop Graham Stedman from getting up. Sin binned by referee Ollerton for 10 minutes. But Cass driving in, and once again the chance gone begging. But now it's Castleford with 13 men, Bradford with 12, and suddenly the tempo is up. The short side, Morrison misses. Just 5 metres then from this Bradford Northern line. Ketteridge gets it away well. Ford does. Coyne again. Good tackle. Blackmore again. Beats one man. Beats two. He's in the corner. Oh, there's the touch, skip touch. Well, he gives no try. Keith Leyland, the touch judge on this side. Judges that he was touching goal, John.
Yeah, well, it comes from the sideline. The ball moves right across the field. Good inside ball here, and he's able to get his hands free and unload the ball. A long pass there, nice link up. Now Blackmore's got a heap of ground again to go for the try line, and tough call that. It's a hard call, you know. I couldn't make up my mind from the replay, so the linesman's there. He's got a job to do.
Whatever, Castleford doing everything but put the ball down over the line. Chance after chance just going. Bradford Northern clinging in here, but a healthy lead. And here we see another look at it. We've got Blackmore really cuts inside, does the right thing, has to go outside. He looks for the dive. No, well, seems to hit the flag. So, in the final quarter. Nickau. Nickau again. Ford. Good run by Watson. And Richard.
Yes, on the Bradford Northern bench, Steve McGowan taking an enforced rest. Steve, the pace of this game is tremendous, isn't it?
Game is very quick. We're struggling at minutes without having actually much ball. Castleford got most of the ball, and we're basically doing a lot of defending. So, obviously, tackling all the time starts sticking out here.
What are your own circumstances coming off in the sin bin?
Well, basically, I tackled Stedman and got up, and my hands weren't even on him and put me for holding down. So off I went.
Like all players, completely innocent.
Completely.
Thanks, Steve. Are you all right?
I never touched him, my lord. So Steve McGowan. Graham Stedman. So Castleford with 17 minutes remaining to pull back this 19 points to 6 deficit. They've certainly created the chances, they've had the possession, but they've lost it again. David Hobbs, Bradford still down with 12 men and resisted. Darryl Shelford. Excellent defensive stint here from Bradford Northern in this spell. Just look at the tackles made by Bradford, and yet they're in the lead. An unusual statistic now. Heron trying to turn that ball inside. Still Bradford. Battle back to Fox. Roy Powell. A couple of tackles remaining in this sequence. Summers. Neither side can get the ball, so I think it'll be the first knock on from David Hobbs.
Well, Ray, you know, I've never seen a Castleford side make so many breaks. They've made a lot of clean breaks, and you'd say they'd get 2 or 3 tries out of those breaks. So you've just got to say Bradford Northern's defence has been outstanding. They've got back and they've scrambled when the cause looked lost, and they've saved all those tries. You know, so a tremendous defence from Bradford. Even though their attack was great too, they scored 18 great points.
Good burst by Crooks. Still Castleford continue to make the breaks, but the try eludes them. Forward, little bit hard. Play on, back to 1, says Mr. Ollerton. St. John Ellis, nowhere to go. Back to the 6 tackles. Good handling. Ooh, that's a good ball to Tony Smith. He's got Middleton outside him now, and it's Middleton to the corner. Surely he must stay at home. That was a high tackle, but it's a try. It's a try. Simon Middleton, I thought he'd made a mistake coming inside, but he got the try. He ducked under the tackle. He had the room outside him, but he was confident to come in. Boos ringing around the ground. Referee Mr. Ollerton adjudging that the tackle was a fair one. I don't think Simon Middleton's too bothered. It's a try. And here it is. We see the very risky long pass. Paul Medley almost gets to it. Tony Smith does a good job. And Middleton, I thought he would go outside. He didn't trust to his pace. He cut inside. A knock to the shoulder, but it's a try. And Lee Crooks now with the goal kick. Score 19 points to 10 for Bradford Northern. Not the easiest of kicks. Strong wind, but it's there. The conversion, a vital one. 19 points to 12. I said that this match wasn't over by any means. 14 points remaining.
Yeah, plenty of room on the outside. The challenge is not that bad, you know. He hit him. He tried to hit him ball and all, but the player was just coming at too much speed. His momentum's taking him over the line.
That's the pass that makes it, John, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a long ball now. You can see Hobbs there saying stay out, because he knows he can't get across the back and pick up that player. And momentum took him over the line.
And suddenly Castleford sense that this game isn't over. They can sense that a Regal Trophy final beckons. Forward, Nick Howe. And Bradford Northern now defending for their lives. But let's not forget they've lost 2 vital men in the front row, Noble and Hamer. 2 good workhorses in the tackle stakes. Castleford can sense that. Watson, number 9. Stedman. The high kick. It's a towering one. Cassett underneath it. And it'll be a knock on. Be a hand over.
when they scored that try, Ray, they went down the side that where the centre was missing. You know, the centre that's in the sin bin, and you know they were a man short. Medley was on his own out there, and he was certainly in trouble.
He's certainly done a good defensive stint during this 10-minute period with McGowan sitting on the bench. I'm very, very sure that Bradford Northern will be very, very pleased to be back to their full complement of players. And there is McGowan limbering up, just waiting for instructions to reappear. Hobbs kicking. I think Bradford need to put a good kicking game together now, John.
Yeah, they probably need Castleford to make a mistake, but you know, if they can tackle as well as they have been, you know, they'll hang on. But Castleford seem to be able to make plenty of breaks. They're finding plenty of holes up the middle.
Ellis. And here is McGowan, much to the relief of the Bradford fans. Blackmore. Been a good battle in the centres there with the Nickow. Looked for the centre, but nobody was there. And Richard.
On the Castleford bench, Ray, with the assistant coach John Joyner. John, 7 points in it, what? How many minutes to go now? 10 minutes, can you make it?
I'm sure we can, yeah. We've just got to keep moving this ball about, make sure we keep hold of it, and just keep applying the pressure.
Do you feel that you should have had 2 tries early on in this game before Bradford scored?
I feel we should have done, but we didn't take his chances. Bradford took their chances early on. That's how the game goes.
That's a
Thanks,
good
John.
kick. Good kick there from Graham Steadman. Copybook. He stopped. He noticed the gap there, put the kick in, and it's Bradford defending. Referee Ian Ollerton just telling Derek Fox to wait, to take his time. And now he's urging Bradford to get on with it. He doesn't want any delay, doesn't want any loitering. He wants both sides on the 10-metre mark. Bradford Northern coach Peter Fox moulded a trophy-winning side in the 80s. They took 2 championships and a Regal Trophy. Are they about to go to another final? Paul Medley.
That 1-point field goal or drop goal, Ray, looks very important now, doesn't it? You know, it's just taken them that 7 points and just a little bit further out of danger.
9 points remaining then for the 9 minutes remaining to find out the finalist to join Wigan. Steadman. Castleford, John, really got to throw now caution aside, haven't they?
Yeah, well, they have been for the last 15 minutes, and they've been playing very attractive rugby league. They've been throwing the ball around and taking chances, and you know, they've scored a couple of nice tries.
And Bradford just hanging in there on the outside. This man Nickow more and more prominent. Out again to that short side to Smith. To Erda Nickow, the Kiwi loose forward, rampaging down the flanks. Forward. Oh, it's a kick! Just Middleton put it down. No, he knocked on. The knock on. Yet again, the line was open. The grubber kick from Ford. Middleton just couldn't quite control it.
Yeah, it was a great piece of skill there. He was running to the left and then hooked the kick back to the right. Caught everybody by surprise, maybe even the winger.
But how many times have we seen Castleford on that try line, over that try line? Just didn't get the ball down, stealing. Nickow adjudged to have ripped the ball out. Always a controversial penalty, this.
Yeah, hand in under the ball, Ray, pulled the ball out.
Neil Summers.
And it doesn't matter whether it's accidental or whether it's done on purpose. You know, a lot of times players get in situations where they do get their hands under the ball and the ball does come out, but you know, the referee's got to make a decision, and the decision is he's got to penalise the player that had his hand on the ball and pulled it out.
Always a difficult decision for a referee, and always 50% of the fans will disagree with him. Knock on, and another chance here now. We can see number 7 there for Michael Ford hurrying this game off. He knows that time's ticking away. Nickow. Tied up there around the scrum. Just look at those handling errors there, John. 15 for Castleford, yet they've played such attractive rugby, haven't they?
Well, they've probably made those errors because they've been trying to do things. They've been playing catch-up since the first 20 minutes, and they've certainly taken chances and thrown the ball around.
Tremendous effort here now by Castleford. There's another handling error. Tawera Nickow just coming at the wrong angle. Couldn't take the ball. Well-intentioned move this. Looking to open up on the inside.
Well, it's just a misunderstanding there, Ray. The hooker thought that he was going to stay on the outside, and at the last minute he spied a bit of space inside and went for the angled run.
Just 5 minutes remaining here then at Valley Parade. Bradford Northern under pressure. Bradford Northern on their own line, but Bradford Northern with the points in hand. 19 points to 12. Good run by Watson. Hobbs. The kick, ball back, and that was good pressure there from the Castleford forward, David Sampson. He pressured David Hobbs. He couldn't get his kick in properly. And in fact, I think he caught himself on the ankle.
Yeah, I've been watching the last couple of David Hobbs's clearing kicks, and the Castleford attackers have been getting closer to him on each occasion. They've been putting him under a little more pressure each time, and you know, I just thought to myself, it's not far off a charge down here, but that time they pressured him and kicking the ball out on the full.
Taken a knock there on the bone just above the shin pad.
Yeah, we'll see Sampson come out of the line there, and he gets there and puts a lot of pressure on him.
So Castleford again using the blind side. That's a good run by Steadman. Coyne. Cries of Northern ringing around this stadium, trying to urge the home side on, trying to hold on to that lead, but it's Castleford playing the rugby. Well, I shouldn't have opened my mouth, John.
Well, you know, they've made some errors, but you know, they've tried to move the ball around. When you see a run around here, 7 to the 6 and a drop ball, but the thing that stood out about this performance by Bradford is their great defence. You know, they've scored some great tries, but defensively they've been very, very solid.
They certainly have. And one can only feel sympathy with Castleford. They've displayed some wonderful skills, but it's just not gone right for them. There's an indication of the pressure that they've put on Bradford Northern. Paul Medley. Powell. Hobbs. McGowan. That's a superb look from McGowan. He's got Steadman to beat. Good tackle by Steadman. But it's Northern now. Suddenly coming back. A couple of minutes remaining. To Powell. Gets it back. Oh! Well, I thought Roy Powell had passed it then, but he re-caught it. Michael Ford knows now that it's desperate time. Sampson. Just over a minute and a half remaining. Nickau. Crooks. Forward. Coyne. Still moving this ball out now then. A 2-1 again. Simon Middleton. Can he repeat that try? Wonderful handling here by Castleford. And Cal Fairbank, the man of the match. Nice to see a forward getting that honour. Simpson in the last minute. Surely Bradford Northern will just hold on to this ball for 5 tackles, then kick it downfield. Shelford, the Kiwi from Bay of Plenty, doing the right thing. So is Simpson. They hold the key. Peter Fox struck a blow, I think, for the English coaches amid the controversy over the influx of the overseas coaches. He guided Northern to a first trophy win in 1918, his first spell at Bradford.
He's played very well, David Watson, too, hasn't he, Ray? You know, he's on the sheet at fullback, but he's been up there in the action all day, and he's been very elusive, and he's always had a pass in him.
Castleford wanting the ball, but I fear it's much too late. Castleford having to score twice. There is David Watson, a footballer, good footballer. And he's given a forward pass. One wonders what might have happened if Graham Stead would have been on this field right from the word go. The injection of speed he's brought to this Castleford side really troubled Bradford, especially down that right wing. But, as John Money said, only he and the coach know his full fitness. Fox. Sensible break there by Fox. Keeping it steady. To Heron. Sure, the Bradford Northern holding it. Well, John, it looks like Bradford Northern Wigan will be meeting in the final. Any thoughts on that game at Ellen Road in a couple of weeks' time?
Well, just watching this performance here, it's been first class. They've scored great tries, and their defence has been outstanding. So we're going to have to be at our best to beat them.
There is the hooter.
Across the region.